When it comes to editing and recording my videos, what type of equipment am I working with? Find out next. I have been recording, editing, uploading videos on YouTube since I was 16 years old, so it was 2006-ish. A lot of trial and error along the way. And I wanted to do this video because I get asked this a lot, and I know you guys have a lot of aspirations, but certainly when it comes to the PC build, there's not a whole lot of videos really explaining what you should get or what can steer you in the right direction and why you should get that, because it's a little different when it comes to having a PC for video editing versus having a PC for, let's say, gaming. And I wanted to make sure that I did this to kind of give you guys some sort of direction. So there's going to be 3 different sections that I'm going to cover today when it comes to my setup. I'm going to talk about the audio, type of audio that I'm using, the visual element, and then we'll go to the PC, which is the more important thing. Be sure to use the links in the description box. I will have all the links going right to Amazon as far as what type of equipment that I'm working with. So grab those links. They will be in the description box. I will go in order in terms of I guess how I prioritize them in this video. So be sure to check that out. Everything that I talk about that I highlight more so emphasize will be in the description box. Okay, so let's talk about my audio setup. I got my notes here. Yamaha MG10XU is what I use for a mixer. The reason I have that and what that does is I run all of my audio feed into that mixer, and that's how obviously it's picking up the audio. Now, why I don't use a USB mic like I know a lot of guys use Blue Yeti and stuff, because I can't edit it like the way that I want. And a lot of this comes from being in the music business and knowing the importance of having one of these. But I just use this. I don't even use this, well, sometimes if I'm doing like covers and stuff like that, but I use this specifically for recording my video streaming as well. So Yamaha MG10XU, when I say you can edit it on the fly, you can edit your audio on the fly. Compressor, equalizer, if I want to do some cool voice effects, all of that I'm able to do through my Yamaha MG10X as well. But all of my sound, even my monitors, are ran through the Yamaha MG10XU. It is it's just, I don't know, it's just a very flexible sort of device in terms of the different ways that you can use it. And that's sort of what I was taking into consideration, because I knew that I could use it for different things, doing different things. So the Yamaha MG10XU is what I use. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time editing this video, by the way. I hope the guys do all these fancy camera work and all of that stuff, showing off the devices. You're not getting any of that. All you get is what I'm using and why. All right, the Shure SM7B is what I use in terms of my microphone. This is the microphone that you see right here. I've used this for audio as far as recording my album. I didn't use this specific Shure SM7B, but if you listen to my band's album, the Backwards album, most of the vocals are done on a Shure SM7B. I love this microphone. It is an awesome microphone. It can handle a lot. You will need to get this cloud lifter device right here, this little device. I'm barely able to get it in the camera, but there's this cloud lifter that you're going to want to get if you're using a Shure SM7B, because the audio comes in at I forget what the exact number is. It comes in real low, but this will more so organically lift it without having to use gain. This is a cloud lifter that you can get, that you should get if you're going to get the Shure SM7B. When I failed to talk about this is a Rode PSA 1. This is the stand that you see me use. I don't have this on my desk or anything well, I do have this part on my desk, but it's not like the microphone itself, the stand isn't sitting on the desk, because if I hit it, you can hear it. With this, you really can't hear anything, but you can if you're hitting, you're just beating on a desk or whatever. But again, this is a Rode PSA 1 swivel that you can grab. I mean, when I first got this thing's durable. When I first got this thing, it was, it was a lot more than I believe what it is now. But you can get these. Pretty much everybody uses them. This is what I connect, obviously, my Shure SM7B to, and I have the little cord obviously wrapped around it, and then it leads all the way to the cloud lifter, which leads into the Yamaha MG10XU. So that's what I'm working with in terms of audio. I do not use the camera audio or anything like that. So let's talk about the visual. The visual, as far as what I use, is a camera. The camera that you see right now is a Sony a6400. This microphone absolutely changed my life. I used to use, up until a few months ago, this Canon G7X. Lasted me for a very long time, but then I upgraded because that kind of crapped out on me, and I wanted something that was 4K to get with the times. I got the Sony a6400, and the reason I got that, I could even afford it. I could afford like another Sony microphone camera, but the reason I went with this one was because I can use it to stream. It doesn't overheat. You didn't mess around with some settings. I'm not gonna go through any of that. It doesn't overheat. I shoot my videos at 3.76 whatever film frames per second, 4K. That's how I shoot my videos. So the fact that I can shoot it, but also stream, I don't stream, however, not yet. I will be streaming in 4K soon, but I really stream in 24, but 1080. And this is a amazing camera. It's just an amazing camera. It's a flexible camera, but it looks so good, and I just I just can't recommend this bad boy enough. Now, as far as how do I get this feed, my Streamlabs OBS, or if you can use OBS Wirecast or whatever have you. You can use any of that crap. I use a cam link which is made by Elgato, and I plug that into the Sony a6400, and that's how I get the feed going to the Streamlabs OBS. So that is an Elgato, Elgato cam link, the 4K cam link as well, that I use in order to get that feed into my computer, so I can obviously have the camera set up when I stream. But this thing doesn't overheat. This Sony a6400, it doesn't heat. I've streamed for over 5 hours with this bad boy, and it doesn't get hot or anything like that. Just got to change some settings up, and I absolutely love it. It is a wonderful camera. I would say when it comes to everything that I used, I mean, the most important thing obviously is the visual. You want to get your audio right too. But this was a great purchase of mine, and I was actually mad at myself because I should have probably upgraded to this or something like this a lot earlier. So, and this is going to lead into the good stuff, right? The PC stuff, which I know a lot of you guys want to look out for. I use Sony Vegas. The reason why I use it, it's not Sony Vegas anymore, it's Magix Vegas. And the reason why I use that is because I'm just familiar with it. I know a lot of people use a lot of other programs out there, Adobe. If you have a Mac, you have whatever they have as After Effects or whatever it is that they have. I don't know what exactly it is, but I use Magix Vegas now because I'm just familiar with it. Now, when it comes to my PC, it wasn't always the PC that I have now. For years, I had a Dell XPS 8900, I believe it was. It's not important. I'm not even going to link you to that, but I had that for the vast majority of the videos that I use in terms of, and it was good. It was good. It worked. But when it comes to getting your render speed lower, which are a lot of people that want to produce so many different videos, because I spend the vast majority of my day behind a computer editing videos. So when it comes to editing videos, and you don't want to be sitting stuck, right, rendering for forever, definitely when you got 4K. So when I upgraded to 4K, I realized that my render speeds was very slow. And sometimes I can shoot a podcast episode that's nearly an hour long, and I'm like, dude, this takes forever. So doing some bare basic research, I realized, because unfortunately a lot of people say they focus on like getting this crazy good graphics card, and it's not about the graphics card. More so when it comes to rendering, is actually the CPU. So when I was upgrading that to what I have now, I had to upgrade my motherboard. So let's talk about that first. This is the motherboard that I use. It is a Z390 Aorus Pro Wi-Fi motherboard. Because I was moving up from i7 CPU to i9, I had to upgrade to this. But yeah, Z390 Aorus Pro Wi-Fi motherboard is what I'm working with for the motherboard. So let's go with the CPU. This was what changed the game. My render speeds were cut in half from using that i7 whatever I was using, but this is the Core i9 that I'm using. What is this? The i9 9900K. So 9900K. This bad boy, I'm talking about when I say it cut my render speeds in half, it cut my render speeds in half. Now I'm using the same graphics card that I was using, which was NVIDIA 1080 Ti. I did not change when I upgraded all of this. I do want the 2080 Ti, and I will get it at some point, but it does just fine. In terms of how long it takes to render a video, I can do let's say a 10-minute video, and now I render it. It renders probably in about 7 to 8 minutes, for a video that's over 10 minutes long. I mean, it's amazing. It's just an amazing setup. Straight up changed the game, and I wouldn't have known that I had been upgrading my graphics card. Like, dude, why? What's going on? It's because of the CPU. So how it works is that they more so work in combination with each other when it comes to rendering. So you can get a graphics card accelerating it, but you can't really render to your maximum, let's say, capacity, unless you get just a great CPU. So that's what I'm working with there. I have 64 gigs of RAM, which is, you think maybe it's overkill, but when you consider some of the aspirations that I have for video editing, I need that. Because I'll have a bunch of things open at the same time. I have Vegas, you get like Boris Continuum if you're using any of that stuff, which is very hard on your computer, man. So you want to get, well, you don't have to get, you're probably good with, half of what I have, but I just want to make sure that I'm good to go. When I have 50, I have 3 freaking monitors open. I have so many different programs and stuff open at the same time. Not saying that you need it. I'm just telling you what I'm working with. And what I went with is these Corsair Vengeance Pro with a DDR4. So I have 4 of these in right here. And 3200 megahertz, these things, they get the job done. Can we get a focus? There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. So what else we got here? So the cooler that I have, because I don't want my freaking deal about to blow up or anything on me, is a Hyper 212X Turbo made by Cooler Master. It looks just like this. Can we get a focus here? Can we get a focus? Come on, A6400. There we go. The fact that I can focus on the fly like that is amazing. So yes, that's what I'm working with here. Let's see what else we got. Oh, the power supply, power spec 650 watts or what have you. This is the power supply that I'm using right here. Take a look at that. Are we focusing? Yes, I'm focused. So yes, this is what I'm using for my power supply. And I do, for memory sakes, as well as to have my booting fast, I have this 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, which you can get. I'm gonna have a couple of SSDs actually. One's like a 120 gigs, and I use just for saving things on it. I have my hard drive that's in there. I have an external hard drive, so I'm not short on memory. But when you're editing videos, man, it can creep up on you. But I got this specifically for booting. When I like reboot or everything, I don't save a whole lot to this. But yeah, that's what I'm working with. I almost forgot, as far as my case for my PC, Mid Tower V100 made by Thermaltake. This bad boy here is what I use. I couldn't use my Dell case anymore. I had to get all of this stuff in here, so this is what I'm rocking with in terms of my case. Can't believe I almost forgot about that. And that is my setup. Like I said, I'm not gonna spend all this time editing this video up. This is just to let you guys in. Some of you guys want just quick information. This is it. It's in the description box as far as what I use, why I use it. You can go to Amazon, grab that. But for video editing, I cannot stress enough, you're going to want to get upgrades to the proper, or you're going to want to take the proper measures, not just going up there and getting the most expensive graphics card that you can get. That's not what you need to do. upgrade your CPU. You might have to upgrade your motherboard depending on what you were working with in the past, but upgrade that, and that will cut your render speeds in half. Again, with Vegas, all I have not changed that. I still rock with that 1080 Ti, or 1070 Ti is actually what I use. Not a 1080 Ti, it's a 1070 Ti. I almost forgot. And I'm still rocking with that, and my render speeds is just cut in half. I was going from editing 4K and it taking roughly like 30 something minutes, man, to edit like, let's say a 12-minute video, and now basically my render speeds are shorter than the length of the video. And wait until I can get that accelerator, or when I do upgrade my graphics card, because those work as a tandem. I'm pretty sure I can get that even lower. So be sure to take that into consideration when it comes to video editing. If you have some questions, let me know in the comment section. I will try to get to as many as I can, spending a day after I upload this video, but that's what I am working with when it comes to recording, editing, and just doing